to teach you basically how to play KSP, and we'll make a whole series about it. In today's video, we are going to be doing everything till Minmus in a science mode playthrough, you could say. Hopefully you can just copy the rocket. It's as simple as dragging and dropping the rocket pieces and just quickly do it. I accidentally was clicking buttons, but you should not have to offset rotate them. It was just the WASD keys, so just try until you succeed. No need to also call just rocket something. You won't start with that Ayansh Aerospace logo. I made it on Canva. You don't need to name it, but I named it one. No, I named it sound one, yes. And I think soon we'll get into a time lapse. So here you go. It's all fast. This mission you don't need to choose the cobbles, but from next mission onwards, I would really recommend getting the right cobble. Yeah, I installed a few mods, and you don't need any mods because I'm going to make this save file for players who play stock. I mean, that's camera tools. Really recommend it if you're a content creator, but it can be a bit finicky. As you could see me struggling with it because it is not basically understanding what I'm trying to do. So here you go. Actually, we could have gotten some good shots here. Yeah, here you go. Getting it to actually listen to me and then clicking something, not by letting it work, then again trying to get it to listen, understand what I want. And so, hopefully soon we'll begin. These visuals, it will not look as beautiful as it does for me, for you all, and that's because of other mods as well. I've got parallax installed, which I don't recommend on like low computers. So we have already launched it. Spacebar to stage. You have to check your staging. We have to take some science experiments as well. So I think I should have not sped this video up. So you can take first take all the science experiments from the launch pad. EVA, take a surface sample and crew report. Then take data, right click on the command pod and take data, which in our case is the Mark 1 command pod, and then and then go to a crew report before taking the data. I said in the wrong thing, but to get those like small menus which allows you to take science, do science or do lots of other stuff later on down the line, just use that small trick I told you. And there we are splashing down. Just click space again after launching, probably at the most suitable time to turn on the parachutes. Take some science in the water. Don't know how, but you can somehow take a surface sample of the water, but you can do that. I'll quickly drink a bit of water while it was supposed to be loading, and we'll get some science. Then go to the research and development building. I don't know what was I like shaking my mouse there for some time. And then take basic rocketry and engineering 101. If you have more science, I'd be like what I did with the amount of science I found. Take advanced rocketry and survivability. I thought of maybe stability, but I went with survivability, and that is a good idea because we are going to soon go to Minmus, and hopefully if you just go to a tracking station to see all the planets. I have a few mods installed which change the tech tree earlier in the video. This has run over 2 videos. And then later on you will see the stock tech tree and everything stock. If you see a few parts that in my save that you don't see in your save, which I am clearly not going to use these extra parts, but still if you see them, just know that those are from mods and that you will have to download. Few are from Kerbal. I'll just tell you my mod list in case you all want in the description, or maybe in the description of the whole playlist. We are currently making a rocket that goes to lower space around Kerbal. Clearly 5 thermometers or barometers. I could have done something else, and then I think we got 3 mystery cubes, hoping that we could land on land and not land in the water. And seriously, I don't know why. Speaking for long, I hate. And now here you go. We are taking 4 fuel tanks. And then I thought, I remember doing a 5th fuel tank and adding the swivel engine, which you should unlock by basic rocketry. Add few basic fins for stability. Now normally to pitch you have to use WSD, A and D. Normally to the for pitch you have to use W and S. Just test how each works, or you and just do that. For yaw you have to use D and A, and for roll you have to use Q and E. Just test this. So last mission we wanting to go towards the closer water body with D, but this time we want to do A. Oh yeah, I remember I had got one part wrong. Like I think I forgotten some part or something. That's why we are voting to launch here. No, I not forgotten a part. I forgot to run the experiments. Now I remember. Yeah, this took a little bit of a while to edit. I barely. Most of the time, I'll probably be editing a good thumbnail out, and probably even sending another mission to Minmus, since I forgot to take screenshots from this. Or I probably won't even send another mission to Minmus. I'll just take our Minmus lander, cheat it all the way to Minmus, use a bit of fuel to land. And then also for the engine plumes, or especially liquid fueled engines, I'm using waterfall as the mod. If you're really asking why my engine plumes look so beautiful, you really don't need any mod for this. So to follow my tutorials, but just I'd reckon having few to make your thing look more beautiful. Pinning all of those science equipments there, just to ensure when we get into a new situation I can quickly do it, even if it's 10 seconds to do, which normally will be too long. Like not 10 seconds, like 5 seconds I can quickly just find a good one and quickly do it. Same for mystery goo, I'll soon do. There you go, past Ayansh has done it. Yes, this is not live commentary, because if I did live commentary I would be wasting way too much time. I may have clicked space, luckily that doesn't matter. And let's see where we are currently. I covered it, but you know that we have started to launch, started to do a small turn. You use either a key for that. So I think the best thing is to do smoke look like a bit of a. Don't do as big of a gravity turn. I'll teach all that later in the next launch. Yeah, so next launch will be with the Science Junior. So I'll tell which experiments I've used. I've used the barometer, the thermometer, and the mystery goo. Last time we only could get the mystery goo. Clearly now we used the curb, and then all the experiments like the crew report, surface sample. Oh no, it has detected a Trojan. Let me quickly remove it. I'll quickly talk. My computer detected a Trojan virus. Yeah, that was actually a mistake, that thing that came. But still, it detected a Trojan, so quickly responded, and here you go. I think I may have done a bit too much of a gravity turn. Yeah, quickly I'm hoping that my Trojan is removed. I'll sort that out currently as well. No. And I think no, we aren't. We are only 43 kilometers. You all should at least check the Wikipedia, but Cobain's atmosphere is 70 kilometers high. And seriously, anyone who wants to play KSP, I reckon you at least have a bit of interest in rockets or space. At least know what a gravity turn or stuff like that is. I would not recommend trying the in-game tutorials, since they are kind of boring, clunky. If you want to do stuff, then maybe just try by your own or watch these videos. That could be also quite nice. Currently we are in space. I should have sped this segment up, but I did not. I could have time warped. Yeah, I'm running all the experiments here. And no, I forgot the crew report. We'll take the EVA report as well. So yeah, we are in space. I forgot to mention that. And if anyone knows the shortcut of the time warp, I'm just telling you now. If anyone doesn't know, I should be saying. And why I don't need to get my mouse over to do time warp. It is because I am using the shortcut of the comma and full stop key. I think comma I forgot, but I think full stop is to increase time warp speed and comma to decrease. Yeah, time warp, time wrap, however you spell it, not pronounce it. I mean, the verbal typo there is time warp. I'll call it all the time in my videos. And we are re-entering. This is why we should get survivability, because it gives us the heat shield. And if we don't have the heat shield, the atmosphere would burn this up to a crisp. I'm not going to explain the science why in this video. I'll start another series of videos to explain that. It's because there are lots of atmospheric particles which are basically going at so fast speed, so the friction between them and the spacecraft slowing it down, which clearly slows it down in the peak heating of re-entry, the max, clearly creating some peak G-force as well at that time. But basically slowing it down, those same atmospheric particles create friction that creates heat, and then that's basically how that re-entry heating works. I mean, you really don't need to know that, but just telling you. And we have gotten a bunch of science. I don't know the number. I think it was some 111 or something. At least enough to get basic science. Now we are into 87.5. I can tell that. We get stability, so still it can be quite a useful node. And wait for it. Oh yeah, you can see I'm angry since I forgot to remove community tech tree. That actually edits tech tree. That's why basically you could see me doing that. So if you're asking what happened, I quickly stop the video, close KSP, then uninstall community tech tree and turn it on again. Now we are making the Science Junior rocket, and then I actually don't launch with the same rocket. If you are asking why I do that, because I forgot to save it and I was now too lazy to rebuild such an easy rocket to build, seriously. After I think some failed attempt, I think I destroyed it once. It had burned up, not burned up, it had landed on top. It was on top of the mountain. The parachute did not deploy till it was too late. It all exploded. I forgot to change Val or Jeb, and that's why I just took a small Science Junior from the runway. That can be called as cheating. I don't call it as cheating because you get extra science, and I mean, I don't know why, but the surface sample works while you are on the command ship. We are loading back, and let's see. Yeah, I think we got some 40, 20, 30 science. That wasn't a lot, but could actually have been quite helpful for us. I know you can make some ridiculous craft which has all the science, and because it's a giant rover which just farms science around the KSC. I mean, I will do that maybe next episode of this. That's another thing I would recommend. And here you go, we are launching the old previous craft which we did for the previous above atmosphere flight, just with all the other experiments except like the ones that come which are you can't remove, like row report, EVA report, basically surface sample if you're on land or water. So you understand. Basically, if not for that, we have removed everything and added the Science Junior and moved the heat shield to be below that. So if you're asking, those are the 3 changes. Also, anyone who is attaching the heat shield and then to the coupler, just be wary of the fact there are 2 nodes where you can attach it. The first, like the closer one, is where you should attach it. The further one, I'll tell the problem. It is, let me quickly breathe for a second as I'm talking way too fast. It is basically create that ugly shroud. It looks so much better with the restock pod, but currently it doesn't. So just I recommend keeping it close. But if you like that ugly shroud, keep it on. It's your choice, not mine. And here you go. We are not landing. We are slowing down with a bit of delta V. We have delta V. If I'll explain lots of stuff here now. Delta V is basically the amount of change. Like let's say you were kept at 0 meters per second in space, just hovering in the middle of space without it. Let's say there's nothing like gravity, nothing like anything like that. Let's just say you're hovering in space, not hovering. Let's just say you are in. We were straight up in the air, reached apoapsis, which is the highest point in your trajectory, and then slow down yourself to 0 meters per second. And let's say you still had 450 meters per second of delta V left. Then if you bond exactly at one direction without even slightly changing your direction, you will get 450 meters per second at your speed. So basically it's the change in velocity possible by a rocket. Here you go, we have recovered the craft. Think I was doing something there, and there you go. We quickly do that. You really would reckon getting electrics, yeah? Electrics, and then I think the Minmus mission, yeah, this is the Minmus mission. So this is the longest part of the video, everyone. Just make like a normal command pod, parachute, heat shield and pod, then add a normal separator. Don't use this fuel tank, I changed from it later. Yeah, I think I realized the delta V. Yes, go to the new big fuel tank you got from advanced rocketry, which is not nuke, but you understand hopefully. Add 4 landing struts, add 1 mystery cube, but I added 2 by mistake. Add 1 thermometer and barometer. Add the decoupler, the 1.25 meter decoupler at the same tank you use on the lander. And then the Terrier engine, you also use the Terrier engine on the lander. I thought of third engine, but they were too powerful and too inefficient, so go with the Terrier. Then use that same fuel tank, duplicate it 4 times, click Alt and then click on that piece to duplicate it. Add the swivel engine, add a decoupler, then add 3 of that same fuel tank, the biggest new one that we have. Maybe you could use the smaller fuel tanks that will still give you the same amount of fuel, but still it basically saves your part count. And if you're on really low end devices, low part count is needed. I can tell that from experience, having used a laptop before. There you go, add a small battery and some solar panels, and then we are ready to go. That battery is a 200-watt battery that you get from, I think, that electric charge one or something like that. I'm calling it mint ice cream. Yeah, mint ice cream. Since why not? That is just a funny joke I was making. Oh yeah, I got to make your assembly building again. Since I forgot to change Jeb out for Bob. Since Bob is a scientist, and so he can basically restore the mystery goo and science junior units. We are adding a communitron here as well to ensure we can still have connection with the KSP, so we can still make maneuver notes. Loading is taking a while, and there you go. So quickly click SAS and click space and set your staging properly. Just follow how I have set it. Now you can see it when I'm launching. Don't do this mission right after, right while you're seeing the video. Do all of this stuff after. Do this gravity turn. I would reckon reaching and later on rockets. Currently, I would reckon just doing a little bit more steep gravity turn, like reach 45 degrees with 17 kilometers. But when you are later on better tech, more powerful engines reach 45 degrees at the height of 10 kilometers. And here you go, it's quite wobbly. You should strut it up or auto strut it at least. Or at least put rigid attachment. That is the best thing you could do. Maybe use a mod cable joint reinforcement, but I think the wobble is still fun at times. It's just wobbling for this big pencil rocket. There you go. We have removed the boosters. Normally, keep the separator for the boosters right on the top of the boosters so they do that wonderful half correlative cross. And the main correlative cross has them going inside first before going out. This just has them going out straight. So that's why I say half correlative cross. Many people call it the correlative cross. I don't agree. And so I think we are going on a merry way to orbit. I can be quiet for now and maybe just go on a ramble, but seriously, this is a beginner's video. So what's the need of rambling? I'm quickly just drinking some water. Yeah. So, also it doesn't take like this fast. I'm not moving my camera so fast. It's just me. I've sped it up, and there you go. You click on the place where you want to add the maneuver node. Right click on it, and then click add maneuver. Either right click or left click. I forgot it's a left click actually. I don't remember, but you click on that area and then click add maneuver. Try both right click and left click. Really recommend using a mouse and keyboard instead of keyboard and trackpad for it, or whatever it's called nowadays. I don't know. So basically for this, and there you go. Time up for x to 2x actually, and we are completing our orbital insertion. Sometimes you may actually end up with some extra fuel, but I really recommend don't use that stage because you don't want to make sure that the space dolphins have to tolerate debris. So just try your best to not have a single piece of debris that is there by the end of the mission. That's just a fun challenge you can do. And also another important thing, always burn on the descending or ascending node, and then create a maneuver node and stretch it out to Minmus's orbit. Go to the descending node it's starting at, time up to that maneuver node. You can hopefully see what I've been clicking for that, and then just wait till it completes time up. It'll set you a minute ahead. I normally like to time up after that. That I know if you're a newcomer, you may just add a bit extra time up that you really don't need. So I would still recommend you don't do it until you at least understand how to stop and start between time up using shortcuts. And I think past Ayansh will soon start the maneuver. Come on, start. Here you go. You have started. Okay. So yeah, now just start the maneuver. Just wait for the delta V indicator to become 0. So yeah, let's just wait for it to go to 0. Also another thing, if you are asking me, if you are an experienced player, and like why am I basically taking it of either the descending or ascending node, if you are asking why, it's because Minmus, hopefully you understand a bit about orbits, is in a bit of an inclined orbit. So basically the plane of its orbit, if I hope I have made it, is like a bit tilted. So we have to make a maneuver midway. Just drag all the 3 vectors in every way possible. Just get till you get a close orbit, or even an orbit that crashes into Minmus and dispose of the stage, and then hopefully everything's fine. So yeah, I got that maneuver node set. Started finicking with it, if that's the word, with that advanced maneuver node tool. I also recommend using that and not just drag out the vectors every time. I love dragging out the vectors. That's just easy. Time up to the maneuver node. Yeah, I should probably just, I set the thrust limiter really low. Because for such fine-tuned maneuver nodes, I really recommend setting it at like 0.5. I set it at 2, but I think 0.5 could have been even better. And I actually think now, it's just a straightforward small burn. I mean, for lots of you, it may not be who are watching this video, but still, it's that. And come on. And we are about the poles. Since my plan was to land on the poles, and then do lots of biome hopping. I think I only hopped about 2 biomes. I tried the third, but it just did not change to Highlands or Midlands. Spoiler alert. But even after that, it really was when you will start running low on fuel, and then have to do advanced gravity assist. I mean, I almost also made this a gravity assist tutorial of how to take a gravity assist of the one back to Corbin from Minmus, since that's what we had to do at the end. But luckily, I just realized I had just enough fuel to somehow salvage this mission. I mean, we almost burned up in the Corbin re-entry, but now I'm getting too far of myself. And there you go. This stuff is now sped at 250 times speed, since this should be trivial stuff, just taking science, collecting it at this point. There you go. You can see I've just sped this stuff up at 250 times speed. If this looks a little weird, yeah, I wasn't this fast at doing everything. This doesn't count for a speed run at all. Oh yeah, I realized that my cowbell could not reach the mystery goo, so I decided to sort out every other experiment. Then quickly go to the mystery goo and then collect that and then go back. So this was actually quite well sped up, this video, because I'm not that fast at EVS. Seriously. In our time of to like a random point in our orbit, I could say. Born towards Minmus, so I could basically dispose of the stage. And if you're asking why didn't I go to the one, why did I start with Minmus? Minmus gives you more science. It's easier to do more biome hopping on. Yeah, if you're asking what I did afterwards, I basically engine washed that stage away, and that's why I quickly pulsed the engine and not later on. I just wanted to ensure that that stage would be engine washed away as well. So maybe a bit of that engine wash, which can create a mass driver, basically could have also pushed it into the Minmus surface. I think I have not cluttered space here. We also want to plant 2 flags, and that's basically when you will realize what was my flag design. I just went into Canva and just made it seriously. Now your first goal, I'd really recommend if you're a beginner into landing, just doing this one biome, maybe a second mid-lands if you just want to maybe farm a bit more sand. So maybe go into 2 different flats. So normally there are these big flat regions, which are the great flats. And then there are those small flat regions which are just called the flats. So normally go into those 2 biomes and do it. I went into the midlands instead like a fool. Or else I could have maybe done 3. I just realized one thing on Minmus. I don't know why, but still I think this is funny about Minmus. That also, wait, yeah, I forgot to tell you this fact. Yeah, we are no longer in that speed. So just try and land about at 1 or 2, 4 or 5 meters per second on Minmus is fine, but still. When you're going to become hardcore, you have to go to Thilo and stuff like that. When you want to do that, even 2 or 3 meters per second, I don't feel is the best. I know Thilo is quite hard. I have never gone there without cheats. What I mean by without cheats, I can actually land a lander on Thilo, but then that one could not return. And that was just a simple lander with 2 Kerbals, and that too I cheated that lander to Thilo, and that too I did that on my laptop, getting ahead of myself. So yeah, don't recommend going there in your first launch. What I recommend doing though, if you are landing, yeah, I paused it for a second. I think I went out to talk to someone or something like that. Yes. Or what maybe to tell Nate that the stock waterfall config just sometimes just glitch out and don't show themselves. That glitch happened to me in the mission, if you are asking why. Later on in the video I'll address it, now only before I go into some random on that video about about that whole 23-hour month mission or just editing a video. or about how the Kraken just decided to stop my Mun colonization mission, which is actually a funny thing to talk about. You can see I'm quickly just running all the science experiments is just right above it, just so it gives me space near science. Then there's an even funnier way to get it for the EVA report. We'll soon find out. Yeah, let me tell, okay? I've decided to cancel my colonization one, like that series, just straight away after that first episode, since I just tried that second episode. The Kraken really is the biggest problem. The rocket was just exploding just in the middle of the launch for no reason. I sorted that out. Then when I went to the Mun, I was trying to put one of the pieces on, and then that piece just would not, like, that was like the breaking ground surface science pieces, those would not fit. That one would just be stuck in the middle of the screen when I was trying to put it in the Kerbals inventory. That was a mess. So yeah, and there you go. One small model for Kerbal, one giant jump for Kerbal kind. Why not? And you can see my Ayansh Aerospace logo there. It's funny. I just made it from Canva. I don't know why I added that extra rocket. Just looks nice, doesn't it? Okay, this is my new janky way of getting on top of that landing gear. I really don't know what was I doing. Yes. I am sometimes funny in the janky way. Sometimes do not do stuff every time the janky way. Again, I just bought it in a janky way. Just use WSD to go forward, backward, right and left for you, basically, not maybe different for the Kerbal, and then shift that control to go up and down respectively, and then Q and E to rotate your Kerbal. That's how it works. And you have to do R to use the jetpack, space to jump, okay, if you want to know about EVA controls. Now you can, I'm just go clicking over there and warping towards, here. So you can see. And another thing I really recommend, oh my, you can see the parallax mod. Here you go. Yeah, you won't have this bad of a surface. Not too bad, like good of a surface. Texture looking wise are not that hard to land, sort of where you have to find a place between the boulders. You won't have that unless you have the parallax mod, and that too also you have to change stuff in the configuration file to enable collisions. If you don't do that, you're fine, but if you do that, then you don't this stuff you'll have to do of clutch landings and stuff like that. Luckily this time I found that area quite flat. You just can run all the surface experiments from the Midlands. Now actually quickly now drink water. It's been a while since I drank water. And yeah, I actually, that time I clicked space by mistake. Someone is calling probably. And let's board. No, we are not. I think yeah, I did one more thing. Yeah. Oh, I forgot planting the flag and then porting Midlands. Again, you can see this beautiful flag. Now, yes, look at the Kraken. I'll tell what it was. From now on, it's just like getting off Kerbal, getting to orbit, and then I would reckon going out of Minmus' sphere of influence, maybe adding one or two little bit more extra fuel, and then just getting out of Minmus' sphere of influence, is burning retrograde, and getting it, and then just using your heat shield to survive Kerbal re-entry. From now on, I've just told what you have to do. Just see what's going on the screen. Yeah, try to do a third surface hop. If you're asking me what am I doing here, it would just not change the biome from Midlands, even though I went to what I would probably call as a highland. Not a island, highland. So yeah. Look at this, it's just a whole mountain of like land. It's so much above the Midlands, and still it's considered as a Midland. Right, one more time. Then I'll just use normally just deploy a parachute at the same time as you decouple. It won't deploy it at that same time since you can't deploy a parachute in space, to be all honest. And at least I'm saying I'm pretty sure that you can't. I mean, seriously, you can't. If anyone who has sense in them knows that at least. So you guys just look like that, and then it'll just, whenever safe to deploy that parachute. You can see our logo here on the back. I almost went and click space it, I think so, maybe. I don't know what pasta I was doing. Seriously. So basically I was finding another biome. Oh yeah, you have to normally, everyone, just have connection with the Kerbal Space Center, since we are not having a pilot, since Bob is the scientist, not a pilot. You have to have connection with the Kerbal Space Center basically to basically plan maneuver nodes and do all that sort of stuff. You can do other things, but not as well as without connection basically. And hopefully understand what I mean, right? With connection you can do stuff way better than without. Now my target was a month. Since I felt 500 meters per second is not enough to get back from Minmus. And what is Kerbal Engineer Redux? Yeah, that's another mod that's adding some information on the top of my screen. Just see that information and not like the information at like the bottom. Both are the same thing, but feel Kerbal Engineer adds a bit extra stuff, which I'll add to just ensure that you know whatever is going on in the mission. With both are just easy to download. I'll teach you, okay? This time you go to that mod website like Space Talk, let's just say. Then click the download button. It will download into your downloads hopefully. Then extract that zip file. Open that. You will either find the game data folder or the name of the mod. If you find name of the mod, open that. Ensure that there isn't another game data inside that. If there is, take that game data folder, open that, find the mod name again, and then put that mod into your game data folder. And if you just straight with a game data folder, then you just straight put the mod inside that game data folder in your game data folder meanwhile. And if there isn't anything inside which is game data, just straight away as the mod in the zip, just move that full like thing inside the zip, like not the main zip file, but still everything else inside it into your game data folder. And then if you open it, you need mod manager and few other dependencies for some mods. So I also recommend Secan, the volumetric clouds I am getting, since I'm basically we are paid black, and we have to go into BlackRock's Patreon to get that basically. Also similar thing for these better, like it's a better scatter version you can also get. So I really recommend, just support him. You will get these brilliant visuals. Oh yeah, realizing we were on 4 times time warp the whole time. Quickly going back to 1 time and doing that. That's few bugs that you have to tolerate with KSP. Almost dropped my water bottle there. And so yeah, tomorrow and today I'm basically just churning out videos. So let me quickly just answer a few questions and you may have like, when is the series going to be uploaded? The colonization series I'm going to continue, maybe not fully cancel it, but only if the Kraken stops attacking all my ships, since currently it hates me. I don't know what was I doing there. I tried to get a 1 gravity SS setup, yeah. I mean, I feel getting a 1 gravity SS setup would have cost more fuel. What it ended up costing, like we ended up running out of more fuel. That was little luckily just while slowing down at Garbage Appreciate. I mean, the capsules almost burned up. Seriously, I mean, I almost did like 40, 50, maybe in an hour just to have the capsule burn up on re-entry. Seriously, that would have been literally painful. I'm saying that because and I would have to again capture the footage for the video, at least at this part of the video, and that could have made it to 1 hour 40-minute recording, which would have just delayed the editing process a lot. So yeah, thank goodness this is what has happened so far. Oh really? Did I just realize that I have only 2 minutes left in the video? Wow. So I have clearly just was talking about everything else. I just was setting up a trajectory to Kerbin, just board retrograde somewhere a lot until you get into a Kerbin atmosphere entry. I know perhaps this is the best. But since I got a trajectory going into Kerbin instead of a phase, and you have to sometimes tolerate stuff, I just use a bit more fuel. And here you go, I'm using last amount of fuel I have just to slow down my thing. It actually was quite some amount of slowing down. I think it's some 3,500 and then it became 3,000, maybe 2,700. We are still at 400 meters per second, maybe. Even though I can't read it, anything. Oh yes. We have not slowed down a lot actually, I just realized. Now here is where I think I made the first blunder. I just separated that piece which is going to be considered as a blunder. You may think why? And that is because I could have used that as a heat shield. You can see why I'm shaking it. You can see the temperature gauges form up on the capsule. Once the event got so much that basically the capsule almost burned up, Bob clearly had to go unconscious for like the 100G re-entry, I feel like it was. But if not for that, we are all okay. Okay, so you can see I'm just time hopping there. As the parachute are deployed, we are going back down to Kerbin. So now let's see what we can unlock. So basically, I know what we can unlock, but let me just remember. So yeah, I have unlocked everything from this tier. Then I'm unlocking the first 3 items from that tier. Then I'm unlocking basically almost everything from this tier as well. Since I've got almost 1,000 science. And I also unlocked that flight control thing. I unlocked maybe... Do I? Think I do. I don't know. Yeah, I unlocked this and then just realized I'm like 40 science away. Bye!